Right, welcome. Today is the longest day of the year, the summer solstice, and we've got a 24-hour sesh on Rainbow Lakes in Burstwick. I've already been here about an hour and a bit already, walked round, seen fish in a couple of places, but also seen him fishing this peg right here, peg 4. I've got some kit out way over in the distance there already, but I was just sat there and I taught myself out the peg, and I needed to come round again just to be sure that there's still fish milling around here, and I've seen 4 already and they're just circling around these lilies. So, man, if I get a fish on in tonight, it's it and all. There's so many lilies lying about. Obviously it gets fished a lot. There's a path of right down into the edge here that I could use a boat with to get me in. So that's the approach. We have to get a boat right up here. Now we're just under the water where a boat could end up. Now just some cabbages just under the water, and the fish just ain't come right close in yet. So I just don't know what to do. I don't know if just stick on the edge of the lilies where they're swimming by, or bring it up close to the hope that they come up there in the night. I have seen fish, however, come close in, but they always seem to swim out. Just swim out, they come in and just swim out. So I've restored my faith in this peg now. I know there's fish here. I haven't seen them anywhere else in the lake. Well, yes I have actually, yeah. Right at the top end where the wind's been blowing all day. I've seen 6 or 7 in there, but that is thick lilies. That is specialist stuff in there. Something I don't really want to be doing. So I need to get back to the peg, start sorting my kit out, get settled, talk yourself into it, get some weight and bait out, be happy with it, sit and wait. I mean, it's quite early in the afternoon, must be 1:30, 1:45 time now. Another hour of setting up, getting on for early bite time. Another plus side with this swim is that the wind isn't really hitting the water that well, so the chance of floater fishing is quite high. You can present it really well, and if these fish just keep hanging off the front of the lilies, just swimming along there, it'll be an excellent opportunity for floater fishing. I haven't seen much wildlife yet, but I can guarantee it will be here. So if somebody put some biscuits out, either the seagulls will be down, or the ducks. Now, you can't see it, but I know there's a fish just swimming around just there. Very subtle hints that they're there at this time of day. I think when the sun goes down a little bit more, hopefully we'll see a bit more activity. I don't want them to push off this bank though when the sun goes behind the trees. I'm sure they don't though. They must just stay around here, just hugging this bank all the way along it. I've just got to get my head on, really talk myself into this now. It's a peg to me, but I've only fished once before and it didn't look like this. It's something I don't do a great deal, is fish against lilies and snags like this. But I've got the experience to do this, I'm sure I have. Got to get that rig perfect, be happy that it's sat on the deck and not on top of some lilies. So I wish I had some Polaroids and I can see into the water. I know it'll be sat properly if I bring it really tight up, like inches away from the bank. I can see there's no lilies or anything growing up there. It's just clear gravel to about 1 foot out, so it's quite tight really. It's a really tight spot to get on, just down there. You can't see it because of the brightness, but just along that edge there it's gravelly, and then just a little bit further out you just start to see the lilies and cabbages grow. So sketchy. I've been looking forward to this for a couple of weeks now. It's been booked up. The place at the moment has got 3 anglers on it, 2 actually. 2 have gone home. I just wonder if everyone's going to start rocking up. People must turn up soon. There's water getting dispersed there, so we know that there's fish just under the water all around here, but I just can't get to this area from where I'm fishing. I'll show you that when I get back to my peg. It's now 3:30. I still haven't got the rods out. they are ready to go. I'm quite happy, I'm very happy with the way they're set up and the way they've fallen in the edge. You can see they're standing up really nice. So one's on a choddy, the one that's in the pot, just still putting a bit of flavouring into it, the one's on a choddy, and the other one is on a drop-off inline lead, Ronnie rig style, just critically balanced I guess. It's just dropping through the water really slow so it just lays on top of any other crap that's out there. I've had a few disasters today, I mean like ridiculous things as well. It's not been good. One of them I can't rectify, or maybe I can, I might be able to buy. What's wrong? I mean, first off, picked my water butt out of the van, Ridge Monkey water butt, filled it up this morning, picked it out of the van, empty. Disaster one, it's just poured all its water all over the back of the van, so that's going to be soaked. I'm going to have to dry that out somehow. Disaster two, wasn't down to me though, it was down to a guy that I fished with in our social, little charity match in Russell Harbours a couple of months back, Rob Nickerson. I heard him shouting, I'm in peg 4, he's in peg 8, and I heard him shouting, Benno, Benno, Benno. He's running around thinking he's got a fish on, gets there. It's like, have you got how to get that out? What? His entire rod. He'd thrown his entire rod into the lake on a cast. It's snagged up on a cast. And he threw it as he was casting it. It went straight in the water, and you could see in the depth was the butt of his rod. So, I mean, I was like, just get in and get it. That was my thinking. Alright, getting in there, it's freezing, it's real deep. I was like, it's not freezing, and it's, you know, you soon get dry. But in the end, he had a rod set up, and we just hooked it. Just got the hook and just hooked the bottom of the rod, and it came up nice and slow and picked out. So that's disaster 2 averted. Disaster 3. I've set up all my rods, my 2 rods, and I wanted 2 choddies on really, but idiot brains he has left all his leads at home. So I've got a load of inlines. I'll have to do it drop-off style if it happens to my only chod rig that I've got. So that's me, but I think you can buy leads from here. So that's the 3rd disaster. 4th disaster, rectifiable though. I knocked my bag of biscuits over, so about 56 of them just rolled along the floor. I picked them up. Not so bad. Anyway, on the upside, I'm kind of set up. I'm just watching the water. Fish are turning now a lot more now the sun's gone down a little bit over the trees. I've seen many, a good 8 now. I fired some biscuits out. I made the mistake of doing it with a catapult, and the duck came out of nowhere and just wiped it out. I've put some out with a rocket, and they're still in the water after. I'm getting on for 5 minutes now, so they haven't been touched by anything else yet, but I guess they're just going to drift off into the corner over there. And I think earlier on, off the first batch I put out, a couple got taken off the top. I was going to move earlier on, like I told you, but I talked myself back into it. I'm happy I am really. I've seen a lot of fish here, which I'm quite happy about. So, done a bit of packing up, tidied up. I've got some water now from Julie, the owner. Very helpful, very nice lady. Told her about what I thought was the otter. It turns out it's a mink. They've had this mink on here a year now, from what they know, and they're trying to trap it, but they just can't. But yeah, so I'm just about there. Still haven't got my bivvy up though, but I mean, I'm just going to check the weather, play it by ear. Do I really want to put it up? Does it look like it's going to rain? The clouds are getting a bit lumpy. So I think that's more wind. It's not lumpy enough to make it rain, I don't think. I mean, can I be asked for a bivvy? It's just I'm going to leave it for as long as I can, I think, before I put it up. So, I'm just going to tidy up a bit more, have a brew, and then I might power these boats. In fact, I might even go around there and just throw 1 or 2 boilies out, just scatter them around in that little hole that I was going to send my boat into later on. And then boat it out into the middle again. I don't know, I mean, I might cast it, I don't know, because it's very castable, and firing a few boilies around here and there might be better than putting them all in a big pile around there. So maybe a cast on that one, but I really should I don't want to be doing loads of casts, you see, I just want to do one. So I might boat it with maybe only half a dozen boilies in there and fire the boilies out for the most part. I think that might be a better choice. Right. If anything happens, I might let you know. Could be about, must be 6:30 now. Wind's dropped off quite a bit all over the lake, I've noticed. Nothing's happened. Nothing. Not a bloody bleep. I ain't seen many fish moving about. The most interesting that's happened is that when I went to make a cup of tea, the milk has gone off in my tub, so that just got poured away. I'm still leaving them out there. There's always that air of doubt in your mind that them leads just haven't settled, or the hook is just hung up on something. And the lines, it's, you know, there's just lots of cabbages all over the place without chucking leads everywhere for a while and finding these spots I'm never going to know. I mean, I just don't know. Yeah, it's quite a nice evening. A lot of crap on the water though. Now it's starting to move over to my swim. I think I might put some more biscuits out now in the boat, because the ducks don't know I'm doing that. They can sit out there for a long time, but not much has happened. So at 9:30 at night, still very, very light. That's the first sign of anything. Green lights there, but this is an iffy rod, as I have just poured 2 pints of red maggots down there. Yeah, I might get a few of them. Wow, that was weird. Just put the record on and that went off. Yeah, so I'm expecting a few little liners like that for a short while them maggots get overed up by all sorts of little things. So, I don't know if you can notice, but I'm going bareback tonight. No bivvy up. What's the point? It's going to be a relatively warm night. I've got the best sleeping bag. Super warm. Still got the winter gear on it, so I'm going to be super warm in this. It's only been dark for, 5 hours. Might get the odd rodent running by, which will be nice. All my gear's off the ground. Rucksack and chair and that. So that should be alright. Everything's put away, all nice and tidy. Hopefully we don't get too many rats and God knows what we're running about. Breakfast is ordered in the morning. Looking forward to that because I have no food whatsoever. I had a recast at about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Bought some more gear out, like I just said. The hook came in real clean. There was a tiny bit of weed on the lead, which is fine by me. I ain't done that shifting the right rod, I'm just leaving that now. Just gonna let that bait get older and older, and if it's landed right and we ain't caught up on any cabbages, it may just beep early morning. That's it, yeah. Sun's going down, it's gone behind the trees. So if anything happens, I'll give you a shout. Hullblankers. Oh, that's a good £5 or £6 bream there. But it's just fucked me about. Knew that was going to happen. Right then. It is 3:30 in the morning. And if I turn the light off, you can see it is daylight. Slept under the stars last night. All sorts of weird noises. People snoring. Something crunching things behind me. stuff falling out of a tree. Fish jumping. But it was weird. Very, very weird. I am totally shattered. I am much sleep. But I want to be up early because I want to sink these rods out again for the next few hours. This light is rapidly getting brighter. There's a mist on the water. There's a couple of line off each rod again last night. So I'm again in dome again when I can see properly the lily beds and where it's going. Shouldn't be too long before I can do that. Morning campers. It's 4:45 in the morning. I've been up since last oh God, I'm not tired, I can't even think. That last scene, I guess, which was about 3:30, I think. So both rods have been fresh baits. Changed from a match the hatch to a orange now, yellow. Avies from main line. Turn that down, just doing a brew. Poured. And the left hand side where I had the bream earlier, I've just put a load more maggots out, a few more boilers, fish sat on the boiler. I've already had a couple of lines on it, so I know, it's just small fish hovering up all the maggots, I know that. But I think a small fish could bring big fish in, so you never know. I might be lucky enough to get one of these rainbow carp. The right hand rod, when I sent that out on the sonar, not a single fish came out. No, it just didn't come up on the screen at all, but I was persevering. I'm still put it on the tree over so far away. There's already bait there. Someone's got to cruise up and down there. Someone has got to pass now and again. I'm so tired. I don't think I've had really much sleep at all. I should get a couple of hours before the breakfast comes round. Don't know what time that'll be. Could be 9 o'clock maybe. Next morning though, God, I went without the shelter. There's just no need to put it up. There wouldn't have made any bit of difference with it. The only thing that'll happen is it'll have got wet. Just with this mist. It's a fine morning. Don't see many mornings like this these days. Always chasing the kid round the house. That's it now. Oh, there's the bailiff. He has me running ragged. Is that lad? Big shout out to the bailiff. Big shout out to Ryan Daddy. Anyway, we'll do some shout outs at 5:30 in the morning. Shout out to Ryan Daddy. Shout out to Sam Capo. Shout out to Rob Leonard, the original Hullblanker. Shout out to Rob Nickerson. Get your rod out, mate. Get your rod out. Dave Breeman. Shout out to the first corrupted carper, James Clayton. A few weeks back I booked on to go on to Majestic. Well, I asked to go on Majestic and the message me back saying there was full. And then last night on Facebook I saw that they've shut the lake for spawning, so big shout out to Majestic for not letting me go. Otherwise I wouldn't have been going anywhere. No, there's not any signs of spawning on this lake at the moment. No reeds are getting ripped up, no. Fish aren't really swimming around together. Just like a normal day on here at the moment. Hullblankers update. I've just done a couple of pub chucks now. On my right hand rod, which has a choddy on that, I've just thrown it as hard as I could towards the lilies over just about there. I saw a fish crash, so I'm just going to throw a single at it. And then on the left rod I've taken off my Ronnie rig and put on a 6 foot zig, and I've thrown that back to the place where I have been fishing all night. There's been a lot of happening over the lake at all from what I gather. Oops, I just got a reminder I'm meant to be at Footprints for 9 o'clock, but I cancelled it. I'm just waiting for my breakfast. Quite hungry, I hope that turns up soon. When I was setting that zig rig up, I stood in the peg and I had something at the corner of my eye, just across here. That mink that I thought was an otter yesterday is actually a mink. Just ran. It was like it was wet, so it swam from somewhere. Just walked up the steps, just into the undergrowth. Very brazen, not bothered whatsoever. And I've got a big shout out to the original Hullblanker, Lee Leslie Watkins. Caught 2 fish for about 1 year, about 2 years ago. He joined the syndicate, it cost him 500 quid and went twice. What a loser. Biggest blanker I know, Les Watkins. That's Lee Les Watkins if anyone wants to follow him anywhere. And rod anglers. Little bastard. This is what we come to Rainbow for, right? You pay 25 quid for this, right? 24-hour session. Your net, cradle, waist sling and handle are provided. They're in really good nick at the moment and people should keep it that way. I think all fisheries should do this. It's a great idea. I think we hand them in at the end of the day. You pick them up when you get here and you hand them in. And then for an extra fiver, well, it's 20 quid to fish 24 hours and £5 gets you a little brekkie and a bread cake and cutlery, you know. Well worth it. Appreciate what Julie's done there. Done me a nice breakfast. Not just me, a few people on the lake have got it as well. I can understand how hard that is to do. So credit to her. Still no fish.